Hello everyone. I want to tell you a little bit about myself and how I started my soap company. 98, I was assaulted in the streets of Phoenix, Arizona. That gave me a disabling condition, that spinal injuries and things, and then I was having a real hard time for a long time. In 2004, I started going to a community college to upgrade my skills as a heavy truck technician. Basically, a big diesel mechanic is what I used to do. And while I was in school, I was there about maybe a year after I was there. I started this soap business as a way to generate a little extra income while I was in college. Now, the first year I had a little difficulty getting my recipes and making a really nice quality soap. And I've perfected it over the past 3 or 4 years. I've got a really fine quality product now. I get a lot of people that are very pleased with it. I started the unscented products because my aunt had cancer, and she said she can't use anything you buy at the store. There's one brand she told me about it. She said it's real expensive. So I started making the unscented stuff, and it became very popular for that reason. A lot of people with chemical sensitivity. And I really worked out the formula so they're very mild on your skin. I try to keep the cost as low as possible, and they're basically priced at wholesale for the general public. I'm trying to secure a few wholesale accounts, and eventually I'm going to start raising the retail prices on these soaps. What I want to talk to you about is I'm a heavy truck mechanic. I've been making this soap for about 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. I'm not exactly sure. Basically, in this area, I have no opportunity. Places I've applied at, they want me to be a general laborer. They want to pay me, I don't know, $10 an hour. I've been to ASC. I've got a certification here that says Master Technician. Basically qualified to work at a dealership, and these people want to pay me $10 an hour, the same as a truck driver. And I've spent, I think I've spent over $30,000 on tools, but yet they're expecting me to work for minimum wage. I know that the last place I was working at, they treated me like garbage because I'm a college boy. Well, whatever. While I was at college, I took business administration. I've been through accounting, all kinds of leadership courses, financial nonsense. So I'm basically qualified to be the shop manager based on my experience and all the formal education I have. But yet they treat me like the oil change boy or just you know, I spent half my time pushing the broom around, and the shop manager, he would never tell me what to do. I got frustrated with that real quick. Anyway, I'm running this soap company. I figured I could make more money working in a restaurant washing dishes than I could working as a truck mechanic, and that's the honest truth. I have a 2-year degree. I have a 1-year diploma in business, and yet I'm stuck competing for a minimum wage job. So I'm running my soap business. I'm trying to find the commercial vendors for it. I'm trying to do these videos so you can see what kind of products I'm making to get a little more public recognition. Not exactly sure what to say here. The past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been really making a lot of soap. I've got some new products out. Trying to get more into the essential oils. I have a history of working with the Asian technologies, the natural products, herbals, exploring into acupuncture. Don't know much about it, about the pressure points or balancing your energy. People think I'm a little weird because all this research I've done, I start talking about the spiritual portion of getting well, and they think I'm just crazy in the head. But the traditional medicine and the traditional way things are done in the U.S. is crazy. I was watching this show a while back called Lemonade. It was about some marketing people that they lost their job because of the poor economy, and they started doing freelance work, and they said, we love the freedom, we'll never go back to work for the man. Well, the man tells you what to do. He tells you every aspect of your life, and they don't care. They just want to hire people, do as much work as they can as cheap as possible. And I've run into that in the past. And right now I'm working on this soap business. I'm hoping it's going to expand some more. I'm trying to get another location where I have just a workshop. Right now I'm doing it out of my kitchen. The products that I use, I buy them from a bakery supply. Most of the shortening comes in a 50-pound cube or a 50-pound bucket. The liquid oils I'll buy in either 1 gallon or 5-gallon quantities. I used to buy lard from the grocery stores, Walmart, wherever I could find it, in a 5-gallon bucket. And the quality was not very good. This bakery supply I'm using, the oil doesn't smell. Some of that lard I was buying before, it is just rancid. And one grocery store would bring it in on the dairy truck. I never could figure that one out. But that may be because of the way it was made and their way to keep it fresh. Kind of a loss for words here. But let's look at the economic value of products right now. Right now you go to whatever store you shop at, you'll buy a 3-pack bars of soap for, I don't know, $5 for 3 about this size. Just the family size, 3 or 4 ounces. And that lasts, I don't know how long it lasts, maybe a month. Now I take one of these bars right here. It's 4.5 ounces. And it usually lasts me about a month. If you leave it in a wet soap dish where it soaks in water, it melts away. Some of the people at like the farmer's market have come up to me and said that some of the soaps they bought just melt right away quickly. And they tried mine and they're really pleased because they lasted a lot longer than some of the other soaps they bought in the past. And I think that is due to the base ingredients and how the formula is calculated. A lot of people are using just straight soybean shortening like Crisco, and that makes kind of a lousy soap. I bought some on eBay and that was the base oil in them, and I didn't much care for them. I use several different oils. The 3 main oils is coconut oil, and that adds hardness and lather. Palm oil, that contributes to hardness and some more lather. Not so much on the cleaning part is what the coconut does. And then they use olive oil. And I'm not sure the exact proportions because everybody's recipe is different. And that gives you kind of a basic soap. It's a little bit dry on your skin. I try to use some other oils to add moisturizing quality. Try to get the bubbles and the creaminess to where it's something really nice. This soap here is 90% lard, and that's what people want, is pure lard soap. And I mix a little bit of vegetable oil in it. I have a 10% blend, and it adds to the shelf life. It helps it clean a little better. It just makes the soap a little better quality without sacrificing the overall quality. But if you look at the ingredients, there's a website. It's called Miller's Soap. There's a whole bunch of recipes that people have written in it and published them. You can get some really good tips on there. I've looked at some of them and I get some ideas on there. And I usually work up my recipe. I use a website called Soap Calc, and it's got a calculation on there. You put in the oils of your recipe and it'll tell you about what the finished properties will be. And I try to get my hardness around 30, between 30 and 33. I tend to average it around 33 if I can. lye soap I make is 42, and it's really hard to cut. But if you get it less than 30, it's going to melt away quickly, and if you get it harder than 33, it's going to take a minute or two before you get a lather on it, just because it takes a while to soften up. A lot of times I'll just run a little water on the soap about a minute before I try to use it, and that'll soften it up on the surface. What I was saying is I use the cleansing on it anywhere between 10 and 13. Usually get it up around 15, and it strips the oils out of your skin. And I use that on this mechanic soap I made. It's got some coffee in it for grit. Some people use sand, but I tend to use coffee and oatmeal because it's a little milder on your skin. It's not going to tear your hide up. I used to use Fast Orange working in the garage, and then after about 3 days of using that 5 or 6 times a day, my arms was just all scratched up from the pumice in it. Then I try to get the bubbles in it. That one's difficult. I usually have to use a little castor oil. About 4 to 5% castor oil makes a really nice soap. Just that small amount. And it also adds to the bubbling. The creaminess is hard to control, but it just depends on your base oils. But I use that formula calculator, and if I don't like something and it shows funny numbers on it, then I'll just keep working at it until I get something decent. And then I don't have to go through the process of having a bad batch of stuff that's only good for use in the laundry. And another thing I do is I take a lot of the trimmings and I'll cook them down and use them for laundry soap. Some of them I'll mail out to a relative for the same reason. You just, when I trim the edges of the bars, you get something that looks like coconut flakes, and you use about maybe a quarter cup of that in a wash, and it does a really good job on your clothes. A lot of times I'll take the unscented oatmeal and the large soaps, and I'll mix them half and half and cook it into a liquid, and that makes a really nice soap too, to use in the laundry. I use it to mop the floors and then about everything, cleaning up some of my equipment. The possibilities are endless. Anyway, I'm a diesel mechanic. I work on big rigs. I started this soap company, and I'm thinking about just continuing the soap company and forgetting about getting dirty. You know, people have the stereotypes as well. Mechanics are greasy, grimy, dirty people, and it's not true. The only people dirty nowadays are the ones in the oil change pit. Everything nowadays is hook a laptop up to it and find out what's wrong. You can basically take over the whole system. You can run the headlights and the wipers through the laptop. And that's a diagnostic tool. You'll see the same thing in your car when you get it repaired at the dealership. But people couldn't associate how I can go from being a grease monkey to making clean soap. You can see my hands aren't dirty. And if I do have to go outside and work on a vehicle, I usually put those blue gloves on to keep the grease off my hands. Obviously, I don't want to handle this soap with greasy fingers. Dirty black fingers, I should say. Anyway, the time's about up for this segment, and I just want people to understand the background of my soap company, and the reason I want to continue it. I'm just not trying to make a quick buck. It's actually trying to make my living making soap. Thanks for watching, and I'll have another video out soon about something. I'm not exactly sure what the topic is.